Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with your host, Christopher LaPrath. And my name's Kenan. I do a little introduction for you here and produce the show behind the scenes. So, for anyone who's watching for the first time, be sure to say something in the chat, whichever platform you're joining us. If you're watching live, say something here and I'll see it and put you in line for a reading. Now, the first time, if you're joining the show, just know that the first reading is always free, and then going forward after that, it's just $10 per reading, or you can pay us $100 through Zelle or Venmo and cover the entire month. Now, that's 3 readings per week, so it's a pretty sweet deal. Tonight's show, the title is pretty interesting. I actually am super proud of it. I came up with it. It's called Allow What? Which is based on some of the theme of the seminar from this past weekend that we were able to attend. By the way, thank you all so much for understanding the skipped show yesterday. For anyone who doesn't know, we have a special show going on tonight where we're doing double readings for everybody. So anyone who goes ahead and pays for a reading will get 2 for tonight. So without further ado, I just have one quick thing to say, which is you are the way you are because you choose to be that way. And I hope you all choose more joy and abundance and love in your life going forward from now on. Not that we don't already have a ton of that, but let's make some even more, you know? So here's Christopher. Enjoy the show.
Hey, great blessings to you. Happy Monday, everybody. I light the incense for you by just paying attention to what it is you're allowing. And so this incense is for your awareness. And what else can you allow or bring into your life that will make it greater, better, joyful, as Kenan said? So, how can I expand my awareness? So I'm going to jump right to the group card because I want to try to pull a card, 2 cards for everyone tonight. And some of them may be quicker or faster message. Some of them may be a little slower. But I want to try to do my best to finish within an hour, hour and a half. And if you have to drop off, you can always watch the show tomorrow to get your reading. But here's the group card, and this applies to every one of us. This is called Inner Earth. This is our base chakra. This is the creative force that we've all been endowed with. It's not just the sexual drive, which is the procreation, which furthers mankind into the future, but it's our creative forces. And this is all about, from this reading forward, all of you laying new foundations or expanding your foundations as to what you've already laid, or abandoning old foundations that no longer serve you. So that's the energy excuse me, behind this card, behind this message that I wanted to be able to share with you, because we're not human beings. We're really human becomings. And we're becoming greater. So how can I step up into the greater? This is you claiming your right on this planet. Claiming your voice, claiming your power, claiming what you came here to do. That's the energy behind the incense tonight. That's the energy behind the message tonight. And it's not just a message. This is reclaiming all of your gifts that you have abandoned. How would that feel? It's like going into the attic and finding an old trunk and finding all these treasures, and these gifts are within you, and they're emerging, and they're going to be emerging in the weeks and months and years to come. That's the message behind this is our connection to the physical realm and all the gifts that all the lessons that we have had and been given have given us. And be grateful for that, no matter how hard they were, no matter how hard that calculus exam was, no matter how hard that divorce was, no matter how difficult that death was. This is helping us move on and to contribute to the now, and for us to be all in the power of the now. This is where you can build yourself the physical foundations that you want and need right now on this planet, and where you need to be and what you need to be doing to flourish and grow, and just be rejoicing in that growth. And sometimes we may feel stagnant, like we're not growing. But remember the bamboo? They plant the bamboo seed, and for 7 years they water it, they fertilize it, nothing happens, and then all of a sudden after 7 years, it will shoot up 3 to 4 feet in a matter of 2 or 3 days. So never underestimate your power. And this is your foundations and restructuring your foundation and who you are and being in allowance of that. Okay. So reclaiming the gifts you've abandoned. Great theme for tonight. Okay. What's that?
Doreen's first.
Okay, Doreen. Thank you for being here. And again, I just want to take a moment and thank you all for your contributions, because it really does help keep the show going. So the Chariot card is all about moving forward. Doreen, do you know that you're safe to move forward? That you're safe to grow? There is there's comfort at first to be where we are, and then it begins to grow in discomfort. And when the discomfort gets, when the dissipative structure, when a dissipative structure happens, it gets so uncomfortable that it almost forces growth. You're safe with growth. Are you willing to accept that you're safe with change? You're safe with growth. You're safe with moving forward. Because this is the Chariot card. It's the movement card. And so things are really moving for you. You are ready for it. And claim that, Doreen. You claim it. So in our society, men that are really sexually active and have a lot of partners are called studs. Women are not called that. I'm not going to say that on the air, but you know, there is a judgment about that. So this is unapologetically accepting you for who you are and what it is you do and what you love, and to be free of judging yourself. Oh, this is great for all of us, you guys. So you know what? I really like this card, this deck the best. No, sorry. I really like this deck the best. I'm sorry. I really like this deck the best. Why am I apologizing? It's letting go of the either or and being free of judging yourself or the jumping from one idea to another. Be free of judging that. Did that make sense?
You're doing good,
Yeah, it's during we have different choices every day. And be free of regretting, oh, you know what, I should have made this choice. The choice I'm making now, I should have made that like 3 days ago. Like, why was I doing that? No, it leads you to the new chapter. And so it's about enjoying different partners, so to speak, and free of judgment or partnerships with different ideas or different creative modes, right? And we learned something really powerful this weekend that I want to share with you all. So whoever's on the show, and I talked to Ambrosi about this too, is to ask the project. So Doreen, you're a chef. Ask your sauces, ask your spices. What would you like to be? How would you like to go out into the world? Because you've created an energy, you've created an entity there. So Scott and I have asked the script, the movie, how would you like to be? How would you like to be in this world? So whatever project you're working on, Jared, Kat, the dental office, the healing spa, how would you like to be? Whatever project you're working on, how would that like to be? Okay, good.
Very good. Jeff Reynolds popped on really quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff, thanks for being here. So we're doing 2 cards tonight, Jeff. And so, Jeff, you're never swinging in the wind. No. It's called the Hanged Man, and it can feel like things are stalling or you're just kind of left hanging in the wind. Never. Never, 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 never. This is teaching you trust, teaching that you're worth it. You know, on Saturday Night Live, there was that comedian that he'd go, and doggone it, I'm worth it. I would really encourage you to watch, bring up those, what was the name of that comedian?
Harvey, maybe?
And doggone it, I'm worth it. So he would go like, I am loved, and I am accepted, and I am beautiful, and doggone it, I am worth it. That's your new chant. That's your new motto, and it's for all of us. So it puts a funny angle, but it's really profound. It's very profound. It's very real. That trust the timing. So the land up there in Sholo, how would you ask the land, how do you want to be? What is it you want? What is it that I would like to create here? Universe, show me now and show me how to do it. This or something better? Okay.
So, next is gonna be Maryland.
What's that?
Maryland Pitts is next.
Oh, I'm going to pull another one for Jeff.
Oh, sure.
And Jeff, take some time to smell the roses. Literally go buy yourself some flowers. Dude, when was the last time a guy bought himself flowers? It's out of the box. It's this joy when you were a kid, when you would pick a flower and give it, like, say, to your mother or your grandmother. It's like your grandmother's coming through and talking about this. That was one of her favorite things, is you picking this flower. And it was just, in your mind, it was like the most beautiful thing. And maybe in an adult mind, it's just a simple daisy. No. This is you seeing the beauty in the smallest of things, and that's one of your major attributes. So never ever diminish that, because that will continue to grow. Okay. And
Yeah, Diane's next. Or do you want to do
Diane.
You haven't done Maryland Pitts yet, right?
Marilyn Pitts. Okay. Okay, Marilyn, my dear, East Coast girl. So this ringing in the ear is like a download. So remember when we had dial-up computers? And when you download something, it would go bzzz, or it would make this tone. That's what it's like. You're being downloaded. So this is the fortune card, which is, of course, money and joy and wealth. But it's also for tune. It's tuning in to the higher frequencies and be free of knowing what it is that you're downloading from these higher frequencies or trying to figure it out. Just trust that when the time comes and the opportunity comes, that information will be there. And you won't know how or why. It will just come out, or it's changing it's changing the pattern of your life. And I've talked about this before, where you see these large metal tables and they have a vibrator connected to them, and they pour sand on them, and then they beam a certain frequency on in through this magnetic table, and these particles of sand make these beautiful mandalas or these beautiful designs. That's what I get with you, is this frequency is bringing in a whole new design for your life. And Marilyn, the work you're doing on yourself affects the DNA of all of your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. We've talked about this before, about the neuroscientist that is a client of mine. And when he graduated, he had to do a study, and he chose a study on breaking the leg of a mother rat. Now, the mother rat had 12 babies. 4 of the babies saw the mother's leg being broken. The other 8 were removed into another room. They brought 4 back to watch the mother's leg heal. And then once the mother's leg was healed, the last 4 babies were brought in. Didn't even know that the mother's leg had ever been broken. But every rat, every baby rat of those 12 rats, when they picked up the baby rat and stroked the leg, the same leg that they had broken on the mother, the baby rats would scream out in pain, no matter if they'd been there and saw the leg broken, if they saw the leg healing, or if they'd never seen anything. So my point is with this, Marilyn, and for all of us, the opposite is true too. That all the work, all the good work that we do on ourselves, the way we change our thinking, the way we broaden our antenna in our brain, learning something new, learning a new song, learning to knit or crochet or drive a speedboat, whatever it is, it's also passing good down to our children and our great-grandchildren. Just like the bad with the rat, the children could recognize the pain, or they knew something. I'm not going to tell you how it works because I really don't know. But the same is true about, this is the Rejoicer card. Okay. And who's next?
Diane.
Okay, Diney. All right, here we go. Even the negative when negativity pops up, use negativity to cancel the negativity. Oh, you know, I had such a really great flight, but it was just so long. You know, I really had a great flight, and I got here safely. And isn't it amazing that I could fly from this place to that place in such a short period of time? You know, I could have been pulled by horses on a wagon train, and it would have taken me a year. Watch everything you say and everything you think. And when there's something negative, go, wait a minute. Where did this come from? And anywhere so you cook Italian food 3 nights ago, and you walk in, because you've been out all day, 3 days later, and you still smell garlic. Anywhere where there's residual religious indoctrination of there's something sinful and wrong with you, and you have to make up for it, are you willing to release that? Okay. Good. Stuart Smalley, yes, thank you. Thank you, Stuart Smalley. Thank you, Doreen. That's Stuart Smalley on Saturday Night Live. And doggone it, I'm worth it. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so Dawn is next, Dawn Cox.
Don Cox. Okay, here we go, Don. I don't know what this is, Don, but your dad is talking about a dog. And that the dog's with him? And he's sending the dog back. Huh, not quite ever seen this before. He's sending the dog back. You know how dogs, they hear, they sense, they smell. So you could be walking in the woods, they could see a bear or smell a bear a long way away, or a snake. Honey, you've got a ghost dog around you. I've never seen this before.
You just got a new puppy too.
You just got a new puppy? Oh my God, Dawn. This is a puppy. So it's not, oh, so it's this. It's another dog that you had that came back. It's why you were attracted to this puppy. So one of my clients, I got to tell you the story. You'll really relate to this, Dawn. There's something really powerful around this, where this dog is protecting you, this puppy. You knew you had to get this puppy because they're very oh, okay, I'm talking really fast. I'm getting excited. They are extreme protectors of you spiritually. Oh, this was a great move, Dawn. This was great. So one of my clients, she had a giant schnauzer. And this giant schnauzer was awesome. And it died. It died young, like 3 or 4 or 5 years old. It just got sick and died. But it came up and licked her face before it died. It was nighttime, and they came and licked the face and then passed away. And it was terrible, right? And so about 5 or 6 years later, she wakes up and she's like, huh, this dog is coming back. And she thought it was kind of insane, right? But she had a dream of the dog surrounded by stars. And so she's like, well, that's odd. Anyway, she's on the internet, she's looking, and up pops a logo for Celestial Breeders with a picture of the dog in the center of all these stars. That was their logo. And it was a giant schnauzer. And she lived in Canada. This breeder was in California. So she calls the breeder, and the breeder says, we just sold the last puppy, and we kept one for ourselves. And this woman says, well, is there any way you consider letting me buy that dog? I know it has to be my dog. Woman says no. So a week later, the woman calls my client back and says, you know what? This is wrong. This dog does not belong to us. It belongs to you. And so they actually created the dog, sent it up to Canada, and when they let the dog out of the crate, it came up and licked her face and went right over to its bowl and toys, its favorite toys. So my point of this is telling you, Dawn, that you've got some protection there. And so it's going to help you clear energy to help you really move forward. Okay. And then we've got the surfer. This is like working with water again. This is the ocean. This is the purifying of water, the environment. Oh, and do some earth poses in yoga. On the earth. Okay, who's next?
Very good. Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay. And the reason I'm pulling 2 cards for everybody tonight is we missed the show last night. So Lindsay, here we go. Oh, and look at this. 2 cards popped out. Lindsay, how can I expand my thinking on this? How can I expand my experience? You can take a 2-lane road to California, or you can take a 6-lane. It depends on if you're wanting to just take your time and enjoy. You might do the 2-lane. No. This is where I'm safe. Do you remember the cross calls I was showing you? I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. This is about safety on a 6-lane. That you're as safe or even safer on a 6-lane as you would be on a 2-lane, or safer. This is your thinking and your view of life expanding necessarily in a necessary way. And then keep a sketch pad. I'm not an artist, but you know how people will doodle. Keep a pad by your desk at work with paints on it or colored pencils. I don't know what this is. It's whatever your chosen medium is, to use different colors. And instead of doodling, actually paint. And, paint with your non-dominant hand. Try that this week. Yeah. That's definitely the message. Okay, my dear, who's next?
Very good. It's Teresa and Mason.
Hey, Teresa. Hey, Mason. It was so great to see you this weekend. Okay. So, Mason, when there are like people in church, Mason, like monks or priests or people in church, they'll actually go up and they'll bless a picture of Jesus, right? Or they'll put maybe a drop of oil on Jesus or whatever the picture is or whatever the statue is, and what that symbolizes. So your mom can help you with picking out a picture of a saint or a holy person. I know Lana is on the show tonight, and I remember giving her a reading, and this picture of Christ came up that had to do with her boys. And she sent me this picture of their bedroom. She had twin boys. She has twin boys. But when they were little, she had this picture of Christ on the wall. And they would look at that every day. And it's not the picture, it's what the picture or the statue symbolizes, what it embodies. And so when you offer it like oil, or you're not praying to the statue or praying to the picture, you're praying to that essence, okay, and blessing it, and that will give you more blessings in return. Okay. All right. my dear Teresa. I may have to call you on this one, girl. So, if you lived in Europe in the 16th century, you could just run to the airport and catch a plane to New York or Chicago or LA. Maybe you could take a boat. It would take you months to get here. So one of my favorite books growing up was called A Wrinkle in Time, and there have been a couple of movies made from it. It's called A Wrinkle in Time. So it's like it's called a tesseract, Tesseract. Oh my God! Okay, this is happening. This is happening with all of us. Yeah. Okay, definitely. So thank you, Teresa, for being on the show. So a tesseract. So if an ant was here on this end of the paper and it had to get to this end, it would have to cross this space, and it would take time. Right? It may take a minute or two for the ant to crawl, or maybe a few seconds. A tesseract is called a wrinkle in time or a fold in time. So if the ant is here and you do this, then all of a sudden the ant is also on this end of the paper. It's a fold in time. It's time not speeding up. So have you been in a car and you're driving you to a destination, and then all of a sudden you're at the destination, you go, wait a minute, how did I even get here? It's that feeling of timelessness. And we're going into a new understanding of time with all of us and how time can fold, which means it's like a jump. So you actually didn't ever lose time. You just folded it. Okay, who's next?
Very good. So next it's Marilyn and Abby.
Okay, Marilyn, my dear Abby. Marilyn. Anywhere where you're saying, I'm not good at that. Can we change that to I'm getting better at it? Or I'm not good at it yet, but I'm getting better and better at it. And claim the master. Claim the ability that you have. But this is jumping, or not jumping into, but it's taking on a new project that's been, so this is realizing your gifts that have been abandoned, which was the theme for tonight's show. This is coming into a new way of being. Listen to Falling Water. You can record. You listen to it on YouTube. So the ocean, the waterfalls, river, running water, it has an ability. Well, they put out negative ions, water does. And it literally, they've scientifically proven that it just immediately calms the nerves down, these negative ions. So, so this is where you're moving into a new field that's just going to come naturally for you because you've done it before. Now, I'm not talking about this lifetime. Yeah, it's very good. And then, so Marilyn, you've got the success card and the master card. So be free of judging your success or failure around it. Be free of, so I'll give you an example. Like Scott and I worked for months on this script, and we liked it. We just liked it. We're ready to submit it to the film festival, and we did. And then I sent it to a couple of clients of mine and friends, who, one is an actress that lived in Scotland and another actor that lives in Toronto. And they wrote back within a matter of a day or two and go, "This is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely wonderful." But before I sent it to them, I knew it was a success. And that was just like extra icing on the cake. So every one of you in the show tonight, can you give yourself a little extra icing on how far you've come? Like, we've talked on the show about accessing source. Well, some people have a greater capacity to access source just like that, their connection. But sometimes people don't have the capabilities. They're not there yet because of certain things that might be in the way, but they're moving. They're clearing the way for it. That's success. Okay. All right, my dear Abby. So Abby, look up the spiritual meaning of Mount Fuji, Fuji in Japan. And if you guys if you all can take notes of what I'm saying, and because if you call me or text me and go, "Wow, what was that card?" I went, I will not, like, it just comes through me. I won't necessarily know. But if you can also take a picture of the card, if it's on the screen, that's helpful. If you call me or text me or want more meaning to it. So anywhere, Abby, that you need to feel that you need to devote your life to a higher cause or a higher purpose, are you willing to let go of that? Now, I'm not saying it's wrong or bad to devote your life to a higher cause or purpose. Hear me out. You are the higher cause. You yourself are the higher purpose. That has to come first, just like the oxygen masks. And then you can appropriately or more energetically or have more energy to actually devote to a higher cause and a higher purpose. Does that make sense? There's something about, yeah, you'll have to call me on this one. There's something about a previous life of a monk in Japan walking barefoot up Fuji. And somehow that previous life is coming through going, I had it a little twisted. This is where that message is coming from. It's like from another lifetime of yours where this monk was like, I take care of me first, and then I was able to serve a higher purpose better. And they're showing me where they would go barefoot and their feet would be all cut up and bruised and calloused, and because it was like forbidden in this thing to wear sandals or anything on this trek. Anyway, I'm going on. And then in doing that, you'll really work on your passion and just be lit up, and your work and everything you say and do will be passionate. It will ignite other people. This passion will ignite other people whose passion has been abandoned because they've been made wrong or bad about their excitement or their joy in life. It's amazing. Okay, who's next?
Great, yeah, so John's next.
Okay, John. Okay, this is odd, you guys. Abby, Marilyn, and John, both 2 cards are popping out at one time. I love this, the synchronicity. Okay. Okay, this is obscure, John. This there's somebody coming through and talking about home brew. I don't know who used to make home brew. It's about making your own beer. And this is moving more into joy. So my dad used to say there's 2 kind of Germans. And again, please don't, no one take offense. This was a joke. This was a family thing. But he would say there's 2 kinds of Germans. There was the Nazi Germans, and then there was the roll out the barrel Germans. This is you moving into more of the roll out the barrel German. So this is for you. You know what? I have to talk to you about this privately. Okay, and then the second one for you, John, and this goes along with the fulfillment card. This is the magician card. So this is the magic. You put the ingredients together. You don't necessarily know how the yeast interacts. I don't even know how to make home brew, but I know you have to let it sit, and the yeast grows, and the yeast creates the beer. You don't have to know the details. This is more magic, just opening up and happening in your life, and people will marvel at it and be free of the need to explain it or apologize for it. Okay, who's next?
Great, it's Hannah.
Okay, my dear Hannah. Hannah Banana, Fofana, Fee, Fi, Fofana, Banana, Hannah. Okay, here we go. time space, Hannah. This is so unusual for this to come up twice within a night. They're showing me how powerful your thoughts are. If are you willing to let go of any limitation or any belief that something isn't working out or something isn't working out fast enough, and knowing, replacing that doubt with absolute knowing and absolute trust. And then any doubt that's coming in, go, wait a minute, where is this coming from? And stop up the leak and send it back. I mean, gorilla glue that leak up. Like, it will never leak again or have that negative energy coming in, this doubt or this and doing what it is that you love, not because you think you have to, but actually creating it as you go. And it's time to clean your place. It So there's this scene in Lost where they find this ship in the jungle and they don't know how the ship got there in the middle of a jungle. And it's full of dynamite. And there's this guy named Arnst that's a character on Lost. And he's like a bomb expert. So he's like, oh, I know what to do. So he goes in and he, I don't know, the ship blows up. And there's pieces of this Arnst guy falling on everybody. And one of the characters, who's kind of the comedian, he looks at another guy and he goes, oh, you got some Arnst on your shoulder. And it was a piece of this guy that got blown up. So there's my point of telling you this story, Hannah, and I'm going to tell everyone this story. Be careful who you let into your apartment, your place. Watch who you are around, especially people that have blown up, angry, frustrated, because they can put a piece of that on you. And can you clear that off now? There you go. Yes. Good job. All right, who's next?
Cat and Geo.
Cat and Geo. Cat and Geo. Awesome. Great to have you here, Dr. Jared, Miss Cat. Okay, Jared, Dr. J, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Kenan, what is Aquarius?
Says I know.
Okay, so Kenan says, Aquarius says, I know. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. So Jared, so I want to share with you something, Jared. And it's really precious to me. This is my favorite. This is my favorite color of Post-it notes. I love this. I love these green Post-it notes. They're just. I use them all the time. Green is my favorite color. They're purple. Okay, I know. And you're going, wait a minute, what? You know they're purple. But I'm telling you, hey, dude, I'm an authority. I know this is green. This is the Aquarius going, I know. I know what I know, and no matter who is telling you what is right or good for you or best fits you or suits you or how it should be, it's the same way of saying these Post-its are green. And you're going, I know they're purple. Got my drift? Yeah. Let go of that. You know. All right. Another one, Jared. Your brain needs more water. Do electrolytes. There's some really, anyway, you're the doctor. I'm not even preaching to the choir because I'm not the choir, but I'm telling you, there's something with dehydration and drinking more, but not just water. It will help your brain to function more because you're moving into more of I don't know if you're doing a class or if there's something that you're needing more energy from, and you can do that with hydrating more with better, like added electrolytes and that type of thing to your water. Okay, Kat, here we go. Kat, it's like a grandmother coming through, and she's talking about you lighting candles or helping her light candles, maybe at like Thanksgiving or Christmas time. And those candles, I know you have kids and candles aren't necessarily the best thing to have with kids, but there's a certain ceremony with candles that are important for you. Oh, Lady Laurel, you have candles going. So when you light a candle, send great energy for your other grandmother, or there's something with your grandmother. So this kind of ties in with Laurel. Look at the significance of candles in religious ceremonies. I'll stop there because otherwise this show will never end. Look that up, okay, Kat? There's something with that, and I'll call you, or you can call me. All right, who's next?
Very good. It's a guy named Rosie.
Hey, Brosy. Yeah. Dude, you are the player. Be the player. This is you getting back into that childhood, that feeling of joy and playing. I don't know. There's something with it looks like a ukulele. I don't know if you had a ukulele in college or growing up, but it's this joyous, just this joyous noise. And your ability to clear away interruptions is so much better. It's like a child doesn't, when it's playing, a child doesn't stop and go, man, I'm really sweating here. No, it doesn't even think about the clothes being soaked with sweat or they're being dirty or they're just playing. This is you moving into this play, into this joy of creating and imagination and hot air ballooning, like rising above the fray. Absolutely for you, Scott. Absolutely rising above the fray for you. And then these are the prayers of the monks, and you know what I'm talking about. That's benefiting your father, but also benefiting you. These are prayers. These are great love. You know, this is that love sign that I'm seeing, even though this is a Buddhist sign, but it's peace and it's great love being sent to you right now. And there's something with the color blue. It's like wide open blue. And it's like your wide open spaces. I don't know if your dad loved to travel or just fly, but there's this feeling of endlessness, this expanse, this amazing that he's able to give to you now. What, and Lindsay, you said, no, wait. Yeah, Lindsay, you said
Your favorite colors.
your favorite color is blue. Lady Laurel, I know what that color is, that candle is for. So weird, I was just typing now and Chris said blue. Okay, I love this. I love the synchronicities, right? But for Scott, this is this, this heart opening up, this great love, like this in beautiful rose. It's amazing. You know, I'll call you tomorrow. And then who?
You're good. Edna's next.
Edna? Okay. All right, Nanny. All right. Edna, you're an empath, but you have a choice as to what you feel. So, you know, empaths are like, oh, I'm just picking up on everything and everyone. And no. I mean, yeah, you probably are. But it's a buffet. When you go to a buffet, you don't eat everything on the buffet. Your plate, number one, isn't big enough. You choose what you want to eat. You choose how you feel. You set up boundaries and go, yes, I know there's a spoon in that tuna salad, but I'm not doing tuna salad today. What I mean by that is, like, there are people that are like tuna salads that have like grief or whatever, and it's like, no thank you. You choose how you feel. And this is acknowledging the ability to empath, but it's also choosing what it is you feel. You are in charge of you. Okay? And strength. This is your body strength. This is your strength here on the earth. What better way for me to live would you choose for me? Strength. What better way would you be for me to be, or to show me more money and be more in my strength and create this from your strength and be free of questioning it. So it's your birthday and you're calling me and go, did you give me a birthday present? Yes. Okay, is it pink? What size is it? Wait, is it bigger than a bread box? No. You just know that whatever I pick out is going to be good. The universe, be free of limiting the universe. This is good. This is be free of figuring it out and knowing it's going to happen for your benefit.
What was next? She's working on that.
So Lindsay said, go back up. I was talking about cat crazy. Okay. All right. So who's next?
She's talking about Laurel. Yeah, Laurel's next.
Okay, Laurel. All right. All right, here we go, Laurel.
Here's the message. Certain channel colors, help, protection, spirituality, health, wealth, and these time connections.
Okay, so Laurel. So I really have a problem with tomato sauce. I can't eat it. It just comes back up. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but it's like better out than in. And then a couple of times where I've broken down and I've had tomato sauce, I go, oh yeah, I remember. Can't do tomato sauce. Okay, something around the age of 10 years old, Laurel, it's coming back up. And it has to do with a fear but you may not even necessarily remember the incident. But it's coming back up to be let go. And so, people say, well, I have to suppress this emotion. How about allowing it to come up and going, show me what this means. Show me the benefit of this. Show me the lesson in this. Show me how to let it go completely. And then never to eat tomato sauce again, and it never comes back up again. So this is something coming up. Doubt, fear, even anger, frustration, the baseline under that is fear. So that's coming up. It's a good thing. It's being let go. Okay? And then within 3 days, you've got equilibrium, like you've never had equilibrium before. Like you've definitely got your sea legs. And universe, how can I have a house on the beach? Universe, show me how I can have a house on the beach. Bring it to me now. Okay.
So next is Lana. Elf lady.
So Laurel says I was moving and living in Long Island. Oh, so this is another conversation. Okay, it's who? Elk Lady?
Hopefully.
Okay. Hey, Lanny. Thank you for being here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Man, you have this grandchild. So I really would love you one day to meet Teresa and her 7-year-old son Mason. And so, Ilana, claim that you are the best grandmother on the planet. You've got this little girl, granddaughter, and she's the special force. She's allow. This is Kennan's theme for tonight. Allow what? Allow her room free of any parents. Okay. You can't really have any control over the parents, but this is about allowing, when she's around you, she is going to learn this allowance of letting her be who she is, because that's what you teach her. And so there's something about Harley coming through and wanting to acknowledge that about you to this grandchild and what you do for this grandchild, and the influence and allowing that child to be who she absolutely is, with no apologies, with no restrictions. Oh my God, that's beautiful, Lana. Wow. Amazing. Okay, you know what? Harley's coming through again, and so you know how people go, now I don't want a birthday, I don't want a big commotion, I don't want balloons, and I don't want graffiti and, or not graffiti. What do you call that? The paper that you throw up in the air and confetti. Yeah, I wouldn't want graffiti either, but confetti. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, you know how people say that, but secretly they actually like it. So he's thanking you for the love that you put into his, like, memorial, and it's like he cherishes it because he didn't want a big fuss made, but he secretly liked it, and he still secretly likes it, and he's acknowledging that. And I don't know why that's funny. It's not funny. It's sweet. It's amusing, and it's just really precious. Yeah, he would. He appreciates the sewing on of the buttons rather than buying a new shirt. I have no idea what that means. Okay, here we go.
John Bliss.
John Bliss.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. It's great to have you on the show for the first time. Everybody welcome John Bliss. So John, I was part of a religion that you were condemned by God if you celebrated birthdays or Christmas. And so there was this like heavy religious dogma. And it was very, very restrictive. So you can stand in front of a bulldozer going at full speed and go, hey, I can stop this. Or you could just step aside and let it barrel through without fighting or pushing against it or fighting it's like people taking opposition to you or your belief system or the way you think or the way you do things and simply be like Neo in the Matrix, where when the bullets fired, he just wasn't there. He just moved aside. This is not being there when those people come around or even listening to their rhetoric, because they're wanting to bowl you over, and it's important for you to break free of that energy. Even though they might be really good friends or family. Ugh. I think you got my point. Okay.
Tanya's on it. Go ahead.
Tanya, and then who else?
So Vicky Smith, and then Christine is another new person, and then that's it.
Oh, Christy. So we have, who's next?
Tanya.
Tanya. Okay, my dear Tanya. You fool child. You're just not, you got a fool child here, and you know what this is. This is new beginnings. Oh, you know what? Highly recommend you get one of those Chinese lanterns, the ones that float. You light and you float up into the air. And you can write in it and you can do this even with a balloon. Don't go buy a hot air balloon. A helium balloon. You can do it with a helium balloon. But and you don't have to necessarily write on it, but imbue in that balloon what no longer serves you to your best and highest. And you don't even have to come up with, because sometimes you don't know what no longer serves you to your best and highest. But even putting that intention in the balloon and going, what no longer serves me to my best and highest, leave now. And any energy that makes my voice really screechy because I get really upset, like you're breathing in helium, any of that energy, send it on. It's not yours. It's not yours to fix. It's not yours to make right. It's not yours. And anywhere anyone's put that on you, send it away with that balloon. So you might want to go to head out to Pretty Party Place tomorrow. Okay. And then
Vicky Smith.
Vicky Smith. Hey, Vicky. Great. Okay. My dearest Vicky, just highly recommend be free of seeking and allow it to come to you. When I was a kid, I had this horse I don't know if Lana will remember this, but I had this horse at my cousin Carlene's and Dolores's place, and it was wild. And I would have to go out. It was kind of wild. And I have to go out with a bucket of oats on my chest, because if I chased it, there's no way you can catch a horse. And I was like 9. I was little. Anyway, I'd have to go out with a bucket of oats on my chest, and it would come to me. So this is metaphorically putting oats on your chest. It would be a new look for you. But it's allowing it to come to you rather than chasing after it. Because it's creating your own frustration. And you're worthy of it. You're absolutely worthy of it. Of having this magical horse, but it's more like a unicorn. It is something you don't really see or expect. It's even better than what you can see or expect. Know that it's there. You're not a human being. You're a human becoming. Okay, here we go. Who's next?
Very good. It's Christine. Well, you did Vicky Smith already?
I did Vicky.
Yep, so now it's a new person, Christina.
Christina, thank you for being on the show. Welcome. Yeah, we pull cards in the order that you come into the show, so I appreciate you staying here on the show. I hope it's been helpful. Christina, anywhere Okay. So let's say this is a battery. Now, and I had a battery. If I had a battery in my hand, I know that it can probably run maybe this controller. But it's certainly not going to power my whole house, nor is it going to empower the city or the state or the country. Anywhere where you've taken on the need to empower others without empowering yourself first and only taking care of yourself first, are you willing to release that now and know about your battery? Know about this is you coming into more of an understanding of what you're willing to do. And I've said this before on the show, but it's been a while, so I'm going to say it again. I want you to, if you have a pen and paper, I'm going to spell this word out for you because it is the hardest word in the English language to write and to say. Okay. It starts with the letter N. I'll spell it slowly. N O. That's it. No. The hardest word in the English language to say or to write. This is you saying no. And if you want to kind of buffer it a little bit, go, you know what, that's just not my policy. No, not my policy. This is you taking back your power and becoming a regenerator. It's important for you to regenerate. This is what the reading will do for you tonight, is regenerate anywhere where you have or where other people have inappropriately been taking your energy and you've been caught up in doing and getting back to more being. Okay. Who's next?
That's everybody. Christina was last.
Christina was last. Thank you all very much for being on the show. We're going to do this again Wednesday night. I'm going to be pulling one card for everybody back on Wednesday night, okay? But thank you all very, very much. Thank you again for your contributions. They really, really do help keep the show going. If you're a regular and you pay $100 a month, please do so. We really help. It really helps. If it's $10, that's great. But welcome, and great blessings for the rest of the week, and we'll see you Wednesday night.